So hey guys, and welcome back to another Access 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview and I'm here with Jordan Purkiss. Jordan, how are we?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm great, and thank you very much for coming on the channel, mate.
You're welcome.
And so
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and so am I right in saying you're a 27-year-old bantamweight who's 5-0?
That's correct. I fight Superfly as well, but at the minute we're looking at bantamweight.
Great, okay, well if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, the question which I always like to start off with, why did you start boxing?
I was 17 when I started boxing. I've done pretty much every sport you can imagine. I competed for Essex and running and things like that. And then one of my friend's dad was a coach at the amateur gym, so I thought I'll give it a go. And yeah, it just went from there. And then just progressed quickly, got everything as far as I could, and then only about a year ago I decided to turn pro.
Great. And so is there any reason why you kind of went along the boxing route instead of, I mean, you said you're doing well in running, but is there any reason why you stuck more to the boxing side?
I've done a lot of sports and I quit a lot of sports, but with boxing you just can't seem to quit. You always end up coming back to it. So even if you stop training, you'll end up coming back. I had 3.5 years out when I finished amateurs, and I've still managed to come back to boxing. So
that's fair enough. That's great. And so, do you remember what happened in your first amateur fight?
Yeah, it was in Romford against a boy we both never had a fight. His brother was a boxer, boxing the ABAs and things like that. So they were very confident they'll beat me. The first round, I've never had a fight, so I didn't really know what to do. I just went all out for the first round, and then the second round I was so tired. But luckily he hit me, and my head went back, but it didn't hurt. So I carried on coming forward, and then he said, "No, I've learnt my hand. I'll give up." So I got my first one by stoppage.
That's impressive, I suppose. And so, kind of throughout your whole amateur period, what was your biggest achievement?
Probably winning the under-20 development, that's in the national title. Won a few box cups even in Ireland and things like that, but that one was a special one.
That's great. And so, how many amateur fights did you end up racking up?
25.
25. That's a good number. And so, why did you end up turning professional when you did? You said you had a bit of a break, but why did you turn professional when you did?
I gave up I think I was 22 years of age, and I was just getting fed up with all the politics and some of the decisions that people were doing and favouritism. So I just thought I'll enjoy myself. I started going out with a lot of my friends and meeting new people. And then during lockdown, I see a few people on telly that I'd beat, and I thought I was better than them. So I'm going to get back into it and give it a go.
That's fair enough. And so you've had the 5 professional fights now, and so which one would you say you've performed your best in?
Probably my last one, because it was against a good opposition. It was for a belt, so obviously I had to train the hardest I've ever trained. I sparred really good people, and then on the night, obviously, I did everything that Will asked of me, and come away with the win and a title.
You did indeed. And so, how big of an achievement was winning that title, Southern Area Champion title?
It's massive, and obviously so early on in my career, people don't really do 10 rounds and 5 fights or something like that. So to jump up, have the confidence of my manager and my coach to do it, and then obviously pull it off, it was a massive achievement. And still now, the recognition I'm getting from that just shows how well it was.
Yes. And so would you say, I mean, you said that nobody's really ever done that at the 5 fights to then go into a title fight, but are you kind of trying to carry on that quickness in your career, or are you going to maybe take it a little bit slower now you've got a title?
Yeah, we've actually we did ask to do my original weight, Superfly, for the Southern Area, but the person that's eligible was apparently going down to flyweight. So next week I'll be allowed to announce what's next, and the opponent, and obviously for another title. But yeah, at the minute it's not till next week I'm allowed to announce.
Okay, that's something to look forward to. Alright, and so you said you've been in the kind of game, the boxing game, for a while now, and so what would you say kind of keeps you motivated?
Motivation to win, do well, make everyone proud, and create a legacy. Really, is that the amateurs. Obviously, it's a good to have amateur background, but it means nothing. So I wish that in the amateurs I did a lot more, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And I'm a professional now. I'm 27, so we're pushing quickly. Everything's progressing, and like for example, my second fight I went to Kazakhstan. That's a big risk. So and then the title in the fifth, potentially title in the sixth. Wait till next week to announce. And two titles maybe in two fights in six fights succession. So
yeah, that is a very impressive thing to say. And so for anybody who's watching this and may have not seen you fight before, what would you say kind of makes you interesting as a fighter?
I'm just constantly active. I keep coming. I just always on the front foot, well, as best as I can be. I just feel like even though we're lightweight, it's exciting. We just keep going, and I'm relentless. I train hard. I dedicate myself the right. I live the life. So yeah, if anyone watches, a lot of people compliment my style and the way I fight. So yeah.
Great. And so, I mean, so far in your career, you've been moving quickly, as you've kind of said. And so, I mean, you said that there's a possible title in the next fight for next week that you're going to announce. But how far do you believe you can go?
Honestly, when I started, I said to everyone I wanted to be at European world level within 15 fights. Hopefully, everything's going as I said it would. A lot of people worry about their records and they want to stay undefeated. They fight all these easy opponents, but at the end of the day, in amateurs, you always lose. There's no one that's got a clean record, and if you take these harder fights with the better opponents, it only makes you look even better. So losses are nothing to me. It's just carry on going and see how far I can get. But I hope within 15 fights I can be at European world level, like I said from the beginning.
Definitely, and I'm sure you can. And so, is there anybody? I mean, if you're going to get to that level, you're going to have to fight some top opposition. Is there any kind of fighters at the moment that you see in this, or in your weight division, or in the one you're going to move into, that you look at and you think maybe down the line you'd like to fight them?
There's loads of opportunities and loads of opponents. There's so many. Not so much in England or Great Britain, but there's better opportunities for good opponents out there. I just love to test myself with their sort of styles and things like that. But there is quite a few that I'd like to have in the future. Once I get to that level and ready, then yeah, I won't say no to anyone.
That's great. Okay, and so I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Yeah, I'd love to shout out to my coach and my manager, obviously Lee, and then Will Jones. They always look at my best interest. They're doing everything for me. So thank you to them. I'd like to say thank you to my sponsors. We've got Bombers CAF. They've been there since the beginning. DMN Electrical, which is one of my friends from college. Brothers and Arts Tattoo, which is Tattoo Studio, one of my dad's friends. EWM Transport, which is massive help, and they're one of my dad's friends as well. Don Pease, which is been known me since I was a young fella, so it's good to have them on board. And then Be Superhuman, they do all my recovery and they help me out. So thank you to everyone that's on board and a part of my team.
Definitely. Okay, that's great. Well, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And maybe further along down the line, I mean, from the way you're progressing at the moment, you'll be having loads of title fights down the line. But further along down the line, we can come back and do a return interview.
Yeah, 100%. And next week, keep your eyes peeled, and then I'll announce what's next.
Definitely, I will be indeed. Okay, and so if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like video, and thanks for watching.